So I'm going to show how I mix the Bob Smith 30-minute slow cure. This is the primary adhesive I use for blinging. You can't use it everything because it is not a flexible glue. So like I would not recommend to use these on shoes or clothing or anything that could stretch. It does work well on stainless steel, acrylic, harder plastic, ceramic, things like that. So it's a two-part, and you mix each part together, and that's what, when they're mixed together, that's what forms the adhesive, the glue. And then you spread it on whatever you're going to use. So I'll show you guys how I do it. And it's just a 1-in-1 mix. I don't use any kind of measuring. I just eyeball it. So and what I'm going to use to mix it together are these lip gloss things. I got them from Amazon. And I'll link those too. So I'm just going to take a dab of one. And I don't mix a whole lot at one time. A dab of the other. Because I rarely, if ever, sit and bling one full tumbler. I never bling one full tumbler at a time. I do it in spurts of work, so like an hour or two, and then I'll come back whenever and do the other. So I just do the two, and then I'm going to mix them together. And I just mix it for about a minute. I'm using a paper plate today, right now, but normally I use Post-it notes. But I'm using a paper plate. So I just want to make sure that I get all of it together and mixed in there really well. And that's it. I don't time my minute or anything. I just mix it together until I feel like it's mixed pretty well. All right. And then normally I would spray paint and glitter whatever I'm going to use. But I'm going to do this lid, and it's already the color that I want. So I'm going to add a little bit of glitter into my adhesive. And it doesn't take a lot, just a tiny bit. These are those little small spoons from the Dollar Tree. Put it in there, and then I'm going to mix this together. So I like to use glitter on my base of whatever I'm doing, because it gives it a really pretty just a really pretty base, and I don't have to worry so much about spacing with my rhinestones. I'm going to do a bling mix on this one. And I don't think I'm going to use that glitter. We'll see what it looks like. I think it's too dark. I need a pink. So I just mix that in there. And then I would take a bit of the glue and just spread it. No, I think I'll use it. just spread it on my surface. So I do like the glitter bases because it looks really pretty underneath your rhinestones. And when I do the scatter, I can move a little bit faster because I'm not as focused on filling in all the spaces, because you'll see the glitter in those little bitty spaces. So when you spread it, you don't want to spread it too thin. You don't want your glue to be spread too thin. You want enough on here that it'll be enough glue on here for your rhinestones to adhere really well. Okay. And I'm just going to spread it kind of even. Okay. And then once it's on there, I'll let it sit for a couple of minutes because the Bobsmith is very fluid. It is not like E6000 or Gym Tech or Liquid Fusion. It's very fluid and the rhinestones will move a little bit. So I just let it sit there just to set just a little bit so that my rhinestones don't start moving on me. Especially when you're working on a tumbler, you want to apply the Bobsmith and then you want to let it sit, because how you're holding the tumbler, gravity is going to pull the rhinestones down, and you don't want to have your rhinestones sliding all over the place. So I just let it sit. It's a 30-minute work time on this glue. And it's actually a little bit longer than 30 minutes depending on the temperature of your work area. If it's really hot where you're working, inside where you're working, then you know you're pretty much going to have that 30 minutes. But if it's not as hot to where the glue won't set up as quickly, I've been able to go up to like 45 minutes with this glue, with the Bobsmith. And there's other things. I used to use toothpicks when I did this. I saw Kelly DeFree, the Crystal Ninja, use the lip gloss applicators, and that's when I bought some. I used to use the wooden coffee stirrers. You get a ton of those wooden coffee stirrers in one box for a little bit of nothing. These right here. These wooden coffee stirrers, and I would just break it in half. And I would use this to mix and to spread the adhesive. And you get a whole bunch of these. In like one box. I'll see if I can find one. I'll link those too. But I do like the lip gloss things. So And I just want to make sure that I have the adhesive everywhere. Alright. And that is how I mix and apply my Bodsmith. I hope this helps somebody.